Would you mind sharing with us your experience of the care system and how you've moved forward in your life?
Yeah, definitely. So I am from a care experience background. Bernardo's babies from the 60s. Came through the care system with, I guess, my own personal experience of not really knowing who I am, not really knowing who I belong to or having a sense of belonging to anything. And it's so very much cliche today. I joined the army at 16 and really felt like I belonged to something. I was with a lot of like-minded people, finding our way in life for the first time, having things that actually belong to you rather than being a shared possession, being with the foster parents, having all that, the toys, and as soon as you leave, they stayed, but you went on. So yeah, for the first time in my life, I really felt like I belonged to a family that was a massive family, really big family. So, it really gave me a sense of purpose, gave me the opportunity to progress, having years of being told that I'd never achieve anything with schools, moving schools, etc. I got a degree qualification through serving through the army, which left me with no debt as well. Driving licenses, I think by the age of 20, I had my HGV2, which you couldn't even have out in Civvy Street. You had to be 21 to have that. Opened my mind up to so many sports I'd never heard of, and became quite proficient in rugby, representing my birth parents' home country, nationally playing rugby. And a bit off track, but I did carry out, I think a lot of care leavers, we do go on that journey of, once we've had that initial belonging, it's rediscovering yourself. So having come through the Bernardo's care system, I did go through the whole process of tracing my birth parents, which in itself was an experience because you have to go for counselling because there may be not a very good story as to the reason why you ended up in the care system and also where your parents ended up. And I did go on that journey, and it was a 50% success, I'd say. Meeting my birth dad was an eye-opener for me. If you've all watched the film The Green Mile, John Coffey, that was my dad. Up here, as wide as he was tall. I had 5 great years with him before unfortunately he succumbed to cancer. But it really, after having that experience in the army, which gave me my self-belonging, I then had that ultimate finding myself with somebody who brought me into the world. And I will say, he didn't abandon me. He was a young black man in the 60s. He fought for me, but he was a single man. It was never going to happen. I've got documentation again through the fortune of being in a Bernardo's baby of his appearances at all the court adoption sessions. So, it was an up and down journey, finding out that bit. But I think it's like a jigsaw puzzle. Growing up, knowing that whoever you're with wasn't your birth parents, there was a couple of pieces missing from the puzzle, and to for me, finding that final piece and then coming with that was the extended family, was a great journey for me. And what I do now is, with the great experience I had in the army and what it's given me, I spend a lot of focus now working with Bernardo's, Care Leavers Covenant, coming to this great event today that Fatima Whitbread has put on, to let people know, no matter how many people tell you there's no opportunity for you, there is always somebody that will give you the opportunity. You have to have a bit of emphasis and oomph yourself to go looking, but there is always somebody that is there for you. Yeah, there's been 3 or 4 people throughout my life that give me support and nurturing, that have given me the bit of courage and the want to drive this forward. But ultimately is to let the people in the care leaving experience cohort that there is something there for you. Yeah, and I do a lot of nurturing and support, and I'm always here for people.
So if you could just summarise, you've obviously had an amazing personal journey, but if you were talking to care leavers, what's the summary that you would give them about what the army can offer them?
The army can offer you that true sense of belonging. It will give you a family that will always be there for you no matter what. Yeah, because you've got to think of what you, as a serving soldier, ultimately you all agree to make that as ultimate sacrifice for your country, for your king, queen, or our allies, but you're part of a family that will always have your back. And the bigger army will offer you opportunities you never thought possible, as I experienced. The sport, the education, seeing places in the world that I didn't even know existed. So for me, I recommend it. Go for it.